So I started the video reading one of the magazines. I've had a few people ask me about them, but these are the Trains magazine, the classic ones that I have. I do have some more modern ones, some like mid to late 90s, but for me, what I consider like the vintage or classics, this is what I have so far. So real quick, just going through them. This isn't Trains, magazine, but this was given to me at a railroad convention. We'll see if the camera will focus here. It's a Norfolk and Western Railway steam excursion. This one is actually from the 80s. Really super cool. And then this one is September 1959, and it's really sad. No more steam, no more mountains to climb. It basically talks about the last steam locomotive running on the Norfolk and Western. So it's got this really cool image here. It does have like a somber tone to it, but one of the things that's also really cool about this magazine is it talks about Norfolk and Western's acquisition of the Virginian Railway. So you have two of my favorite railroads featured in one magazine, plus some really awesome photos of the literal final days of steam railroading. And then next is actually my favorite one. I'm going to try not to say my favorite one for multiple, but this is November 1954, Trains Magazine, Story of the Year, Norfolk and Western Steam Locomotives. Super cool. You've got the J's here. You've got all sorts of locomotives featured. I just love the look of the J-class locomotives. And what's really cool too is, I'm a huge fan of like Winston Lincoln, his night photography. This is 1954, and I think this looks just as good as anything Link did. It's a fun magazine. I've probably read this issue more than any other, strictly for the night photos and for the story on the Norfolk and Western steam. And then finally, the one that I actually started this video with, this is December 1954. Hold on, let me get back in focus. This is Trains, basically talking about the financial struggles and situation of the Pennsylvania Railroad from the early to mid-50s. It talks a little bit about their operations, what some of their leadership has talked about, going forward, which of course we know that it ultimately didn't work out, and that they do end up merging with the New York Central, formerly Penn Central, and of course that ended up the way it did. But you're probably wondering why I included this in the section talking about Cass Scenic Railroad, and really the reason kind of goes back to how I approach a lot of my projects. I love to look at these classic images. And I love to get an idea of, how did people shoot similar stuff, back in the day? What is stuff that I can take inspiration from, and then kind of challenge myself as a photographer. So, usually leading up to a trip, whether it's railroads, landscape, history, anything else that I'm interested in and about to embark on, this is kind of what I do.